Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves that you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of the game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it. And here we are today.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? First down, Mariota. And Davis has it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. 3rd and short yardage. Mariota. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So now the Titans are going to call upon their field goal unit here. This from 44 yards away. And his kick here is good. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board. And a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Nice move at the 40. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 27. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, Mariota finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Credit the tackle to Jalen Holmes. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? On second down, here's Henry. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Mariota now from the 50. And he's got him in. Corey Davis. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Now Mariota. And Davis with it left side. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain. But he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them. And if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Mariota. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
All right, now, lucky 56.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Gone!
On 3rd down, Jackson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they...
And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Now a second down throw for Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Mariota gives to Henry. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I can just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way. There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. From the 2 now, second and goal. This is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. This Titan defense, they just will not give in easily. Looking for another stop, 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eyes. Here's Barkley. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Saquon Barkley in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Carlson now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout. With 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Final play of the half here. Mariota into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Carson Wentz, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. 14-0, a whitewash, the final score. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. Now, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Jackson now. Buying time to his left. Powell. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams that
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Throwing is Mariota. Now he'll let it go deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now out comes Minnesota. We have not seen much on offense from either side these last few drives. It has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Being chased out left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now Jackson on second down. Flushed out right. The quick feet by Jackson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
On third down, Jackson. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. That'll bring up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Time to look now with our spotlight at the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Here's Mariota. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Mariota now on second down. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. The Titans on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be third and forever. From the gun, Mariota. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the fourth quarter. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them done on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, Jackson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they're going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Mariota. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
To throw is Mariota. And the pressure gets to him again. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
No, Jack, Patriot! Watch him now, Barney!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On second down, Mariota again. Caught right side, Davis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Titans on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mariota from the gun on third down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 36. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Flush to, and he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down again. Now another timeout here called by the Titans as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there. First down now, but that clock rolling. Mariota now to throw on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing, Mariota. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down. Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans.
False start, offense.
And no reason for that from any wide receiver.
Oftentimes, you don't even hear the snap count, right? You just look inside, make sure the ball moves, then you take off. How he didn't do that is beyond me.
Again, it's Mariota. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. The Vikings on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Vikings, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time.